Hello and welcome to another episode of the Electric Norwegian. I'm Mats. It's windy outside today, so I think we'll take it inside the car, not outside as I've done a few times. This is a Maxus Euniq 6. It's an SUV from Maxus, which is a brand in the SAIC Corporation, Chinese. It has 350 to 400, a bit over 400 kilometers of range, and it comes in, at least in Norway, at under 400,000 NOK, which is surprisingly cheap actually. There's a few cheaper elements here that you recognize from other Maxus products, but also a few new ones like the big screen and stuff. And it is a huge luggage compartment and a big it's just very roomy in fact. I don't think you can get the car this roomy for this money. But how is it to drive and what's the consumption like? Well, that's what you're gonna find out. Well, first impressions are that the steering wheel controls are okay, a little bit confusing, but that's a matter of habit, nothing else. The screen is alright. It's a bit of tire noise in here, but not that much. And I do like the instrument cluster because it shows your speed, it shows your average, your trip computer, your consumption, and all of that. Yeah, I really must say I like that part of it, and the screen, and the general interior is slightly button heavy, but it all kind of works in a way, and it's very easy to use, intuitive in some ways. You don't have to hunt through 50 menus to find things, and you have shortcut buttons under the screen. The climate control is doing its thing. It's currently 16 degrees outside and beautiful sunshine, so we really have quite a wonderful day. And so far the consumption is 238 watt hours per kilometer, which isn't really that bad. Thinking the P7 and the MG Marvel R, they all cost about the same as this. They have roughly the same range. I say roughly. I know the P7 is a saloon and not an SUV, but still, they, particularly the MG, that was a comfortable car, very comfortable car in fact. This car, I don't know why it's set up the way it does. It just lacks refinement, and it flows alright with the road and all of that, but it isn't a sporty SUV, and I think it wants to be a sporty SUV, and it just isn't. It would have been much better to just comfort oriented the entire car. So this is the car you buy if you want lots of space and lots of comfort for a reasonable price, and a lot of people would buy that. I would love this to have the same magnificent chassis setup, of course, as the P7. It doesn't, but still, it shows it's possible if you want to. And now you kick it, it's a delay, and then it goes on, and it is in sport, mind you. Now it's not quick. It's not slow, by all means, but it's not quick. And it sort of definitely isn't quick enough to kind of defend its suspension setup either. It's a very strange car, this, in some ways. But there's nothing wrong with it. A bit like a Hyundai of the previous generation or a Mazda. There's nothing wrong with it. Everything is where you want to expect to find it. Consumption numbers are good, and yeah, It's just a little bit odd, I guess is the word. We're on the motorway then. We've done, well, basically 60 kilometers. And we have still says 310 kilometers of range left. Still noisy in here. It's not that much more noisy than in the Volvo, the C40 we tried. So, you know, it's not like it's excessive. Sound system, it's okay. It's not bad. I mean, you don't make bad sound systems anymore. It is maybe a little bit cheap sounding, if that's a word. The bass is a little bit unprecise, and the, I don't know, it just the descant and the treble and all of that, it just sounds a little bit sharp and, well, or maybe I am just too spoiled. I guess in some ways I am, actually, come to think of it. But then again, the sound system in the Hyundai Ioniq, the old Ioniq I owned, was perfectly alright. And I didn't really complain on that for all the time I had it. In fact, I probably praised it for having a decent sound system considering the price. I sort of wish I could do the same thing here. It's good. But again, it depends on what you listen to. If you listen to the radio, this is just fine. You will never really think of it, probably. But if you're listen to a lot of music and you appreciate the details and stuff, then maybe you'll be a bit disappointed. But hey, that's how it is. That's how it is in many cars, so not only this one. There's no nav here though, and no nav means, as far as I can find anyway, no preconditioning. They say they have Apple CarPlay, which is a good thing, and you can use that to find your closest charge point and all of that, and that's nice, that's fine, but still means no preconditioning. So you probably will cold gate in the winter, and that's not so nice. We know that I can do better, because if I remember right, the MG has nav, and that's the same. Not the same car, that's a lie, but it's owned by the same conglomerate, after all. See what this thing weighs, shall we? That's not bad. It can't possibly be right. Yeah, apparently it is. Huh, 2 tons. What do you know? Well, alright. That's impressive. Of course, it doesn't have the biggest battery pack in the entire world. It only has about 70 kilowatt hours usable. And it has to be efficient in its manners to get close to 400 kilometers, which I think it actually can do under nice conditions, because we've now done 109 kilometers and it still claims 265 kilometers of indicated range, and we're not even close to half empty yet. We're at about 70-75 probably. And would you mind awfully removing that Mercedes of yours, darling? I'd be very happy. No, apparently not. Norwegians, really can't do multi-lane motorways. Some of them are just awful. This is a very nice car in some ways and very, very average in others. Thank you. It has enough power. It's not quick, but most people don't miss any more than this. I'm guessing now I would assume it does 0 to 60 in around 10 seconds, 8 maybe. I'm probably going to correct myself in writing, so it doesn't really matter what I say. But I'm impressed with the consumption of it. 206 watt hours. Probably won't be able to push it below 200, but this is a very windy day, mind you. That doesn't really do cars like this and good. So to sum it up then, I'm doing 160 kilometers now. Been away for almost 2.5 hours and had a consumption of 213 watt hours. It's not that bad really, particularly considering the last part there is on the motorway. If you want a car that's with decent interior materials, a perfectly decent sound system, and you don't really care about the best hi-fi sound in the world, you want lots of space in the back and lots of space for your luggage, then and all of this for an affordable price, and you get a very efficient car as well, then this is the car for you. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles in the world. What it does have works. Everything is where you expect it to be. It's comfortable enough, except for over small bumps and stuff, but you get to get used to that as well. The range really does seem rather nice. It does easily do 300 plus kilometers, and probably even do 400 on a summer's day if you don't do too much motorway driving. So I'm impressed with the efficiency. I'm impressed with the space in this car, particularly at the price. So a big thanks to Fredrikstad for lending me the car. Yeah, the Maxus Euniq 6 there. A decent, efficient, roomy SUV at an affordable price. I think it sums this car up quite nicely. So that's it. Do like, comment, subscribe and all that good stuff, and take care out there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.